Hello, everyone, and happy Grateful Wednesday. Today, I have the pleasure of having a very special guest with me. I can't believe he said yes to having this naked talk. Yes, I have Dr. Shawn Dill, and hopefully, we will have his beautiful wife as well join us on this naked chat. So, if you're there, please give us thumbs up and post all those questions you ever wanted to ask this man and you just haven't, or you haven't gone on a rant on Facebook yet. Please, we would love to answer those questions as we go, and let us know if we are live, because I don't know if I'm. Hopefully, I pressed the right button. Usually, it tells me there, but hopefully, it's not just for us. So, welcome to another episode of the Get Naked Talk Show with Dr. Auda, and I have my guest, Dr. Shawn Dill, and just in naked style, we will let him introduce himself so everyone can learn a little bit more about him, and hopefully he will share something that we just don't know and we couldn't guess. So, Dr. Shawn Dill, thank you so much for joining me today, and go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you practice, whatever you want to share.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Super appreciate the invitation. I had thought that Lacey was going to be able to be here. She's finishing up on a coaching call, so hopefully she'll get that wrapped up and then she'll jump in, and we can, if we talk about relationship stuff, we can ask her the same things. We can play like the naked newlywed games.
Yeah, exactly. I thought about that.
I'm a chiropractor by profession. I graduated from Logan College in 1995. I practiced for 8 years in Costa Rica, where I honed my Spanish. I had the opportunity to be the author of the law that still to this day regulates chiropractic there, and I have taken an interest in international politics and fighting for chiropractic to be legalized around the world and legalized in a proper way. Moved back to the United States, I believe it was in 2007. I'm not sure. You can ask my wife. I don't know dates, so you could tell me it was 2 years ago, and I would say, okay. Since then, we've opened up a franchise of chiropractic offices called the Specific Chiropractic Center. We now have 16 offices across the United States. And we also are very passionate about helping other service providers, so not just chiropractors, but service providers, reach more people so that they can create the lifestyle of their dreams. We do a lot of consulting and coaching in the service provider space. We have a group called the Black Diamond Club, which has over 500 service providers there. And we also have a series of workshops, seminars. We recently acquired Cairo Sushi with our summer camp coming up. We're coming out with a book called None of Your Business here at the end of March, set to release at the Berkshire Experience. That's Scott Garber's amazing event that everybody should check out. And it's about it. We stay kind of busy by doing those things.
It's just about it, huh? I was thinking, I was like, this is just a half an hour show. We might not be able to get through the credentials, Oh, wow, that is. So, just hearing that out, and to tell you the truth, just like in naked style, I don't research my interviews. I don't do anything. I just learn as we go. And trust me, I didn't know anything about the 16 offices and the specifics. So I didn't know about that. I didn't know about Black Diamond. Hence, I'm wearing a black shirt just to match and try to just level up with you guys. But mentioning all those things that you, and those things that you spend your energy and time on, and all the passions and purposes and things, the book, the Cairo Sushi, all that. And yes, Cairo Sushi is going to be in Miami. So come on down. It's going to be beautiful. What is your favorite thing? What is that one thing that you say, oh my God, when I'm doing this, it's just, I'm on fire. What is it? Is it teaching? Go ahead.
Oh, my favorite business, the crown jewel of our business is the Specific Chiropractic Center's franchise. I think that it starts, everybody needs to have a solid vision. My good friend, Liam Schubel, does a lot of talking and working on vision. And I think that everybody needs to have a clear vision of what it is that they're trying to create. Mm-hmm. And so for Lacey and I, we really want to see, and it's a unique vision, because we're not, and I think this is important too for everybody. You shouldn't just try and steal somebody else's vision, But our goal is for every man, woman, and child on the planet to have access. Well, that's very different. In fact, I serve on the board at the IFCO, several board appointments. I'm on the board at the Australian Spinal Research Foundation, on the board at Sherman College. We're about to go down on Friday for the ribbon cutting for the new building. We're super excited about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment. We want to send out props to Dr. Edwin Cordero, Neil, and all of the team. It's not just them; they're the ones that get to go out. But what an amazing team that has been put together there. Sherman College is poised for a great run for many, many, many years, and this new building is just going to be the platform. It's just the house where they're going to be able to provide this top-notch, cutting-edge education. So if you're looking to send students to a place where they can get a top-notch education in chiropractic, I strongly encourage you to consider Sherman. But our vision is every man, woman, and child on the planet having access. I personally don't believe, and I know, and I this is the naked talk, so I will go ahead and be as controversial as I can be on this. I don't think that it's realistic that every man, woman, and child will actually be checked and adjusted when necessary since birth. Because look, not every man, woman, and child on the planet takes medicine, or not every man, woman, and child on the planet brushes their teeth, or drives a car, or has an iPhone. And so just as a vision, as an idealistic vision, I guess that's okay. But what I would like to see is that every man, woman, and child at least has access. I think that that's one of the things is, and let's even look at this from a spiritual standpoint. And I'm not preaching, but I just want to use this as an analogy. The idea really isn't, if we were to look at, say, Christianity, in my opinion, is not that we force everybody to accept a decision one way or the other, but that we want everybody to have the ability to make the decision. If they choose one way or the other, that's up to them. I would like for everybody to have the choice of receiving chiropractic care or not. And unfortunately, in the world, that's not the case. And, we spend all of our time upset at the people that maybe had the opportunity to choose and did not choose chiropractic. I'm more concerned about the people that never even had the chance to make that decision, because there's no chiropractors or very few chiropractors. There's so many opportunities internationally, and we're hung up on subluxation and laws and regulations. There's just places in this world where people are dying to receive quality chiropractic care, and there's just nobody there. There's nobody around to help them. That's my passion. So the specific, our reach, we want to have a global reach. We're beginning efforts to begin international expansion this year. One of the first countries we're looking at is the Philippines. And then, of course, because of my ties into Latin America, beginning our expansion into Latin America as well, a return, if you will, back to Latin America with the same product that we had so many years ago.
Well, that sounds terrific. Definitely props up to Sherman. I'm so excited to be speaking at Lyceum, so I hope to see you there.
Because, you will be there.
Yeah.
I have to be there.
Yeah. So, and I can't wait to see the facilities. I really haven't toured them. So Dr. Cordero, props to him. So somebody tag him on this conversation because we're very proud. And I love your world vision of having everybody at least have an educated choice. Because yes, we're all allowed to choose if you're going to have a soda or water, but at least you know what how bad the soda is and how good the water is. You get to choose. It's up to you. It's your life. It's your path. It's your prerogative, right? But I love what you said. At least everybody can have an educated choice or an educated option to choose. And then they can choose whichever path. So, oh my God, that's awesome. I've been doing mission trips for 10 years and we take to the less fortunate, we take to the people that don't know, that have never even heard what chiropractic is. And I think everybody should at least know in an educated format so they can either choose yes or no. So, oh my God, however I can help you with that, please, because I love that mission. Okay, so I know you have been around chiropractors and chiropractic students, and you probably have plenty of stories to share on, what we're lacking or what we're not, or how come we can get unified in order to really be naked, put our passion forward, and reach more people in a way that people can hear us. Because yes, we as chiropractors get very hung up on the little things, right? We get hung up on this thing, and we're forgetting there's millions of people that need to hear our message so we can stop the BS and just get to them. So if you had to say, what is the one thing that we're missing as chiropractors, or we're missing as a unified profession, what is it? What would it be? And what would be that naked tip you can just slap us in the face with and just get it through? And please post your questions. So I'm going to keep getting naked here. All right.
Well, I would say to that, I mean, and with all due respect, I don't think it's possible for us to be unified. I don't think that should even be a goal. If you watched last night, the State of the Union address, we have a country, which I guess we could say we're unified. We all live in this country and we enjoy the same freedoms and liberties and abilities and all of the things that are afforded to us, but we are in no way unified. I mean, even when we look at the government, I mean, are we trying to figure out a way to get to a single party political system where we are unified on our ideals? I don't think so. I think that one of the things, I think that really the question is, on our side of the fence, if you will, there's a lot of like bickering and people fighting, and the reason why that happens, frankly, is just ego. It's posturing, it's ego. We all need to understand that we're not going to be unified, and we don't have to be. Look, we began in the pre-show talking. Do Lacey and I ever disagree? Well, of course we do. But here's the difference. When we disagree, I don't run out on social media and try and slam her. I don't begin to position myself to try and deny her opportunities. I don't go to places where I speak and say, listen, Lacey wanted me to eat a lot of vegetables. I don't like vegetables. Hey, Scott, maybe if you want me to speak at Berkshire's, should reconsider whether or not Lacey should be on the program. And that, frankly, is what people do. You have people on our same side, and there's seminars. And look, now that we acquired Cairo Sushi, we're in that same game. And we, first of all, Cairo Sushi Summer Camp, it's not a chiropractic seminar, first and foremost. It's a business. It's a growth conference for service professionals, not even just chiropractors. But we get the chiropractors then that begin to posture and position. And, well, if you're not going to have me speak at summer camp, then you're not going to speak there. That's just ridiculousness, absolute lunacy. And that's the difference, is why are you taking your issues out to the street? You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to always agree with everybody. The idea that we are somehow going to reach this pinnacle where every chiropractor, even on just some fundamental basis, that there's something that we all agree upon, even say subluxation, that's really not going to happen. But it's also, I don't think, should be something that we strive for, because in our country, the politicians are never going to just say one thing that we all agree upon. Even if you said the flag, I mean, there's places in this country where it's frowned upon to fly the flag, or they're not proud of the flag. There's other places where the flag's everywhere. I can't think of anything that everybody agrees upon.
That is very true. I started this Get Naked TikToks because I said, what is the one thing that we can agree on? And the more I do them, I realize that what you just said is true. We can't agree, but I do agree that our dirty laundry needs to be fixed within ourselves. So our vision to the world is more clean and streamlined in some way. Hey, we're a healthcare profession. Can we agree on that? We're helping people get healthier and live their best lives. So I feel that we're missing certainty. I feel that we are missing the egos need to get out of the way. And again, I've done mission trips for the last 10 years, and I've taken a lot of high profile people, should we say, in our profession. And what I love on my mission trips is that no matter if you are the president of a school, or you're a student, or a chiropractor, or $1 million practice, whatever it is, we all come together with the same thing, and we're all sweating, hungry, and uncomfortable. So the truth comes out, and that's how Naked got born. And I love relationships, and I love talking about these things because it is true. Hey, I watch last night, and there's no way that we can be unified, and it's almost comical, right? Because you're watching it and you're like, oh my god, if I was only drinking, I would right now. But it is what it is. It is who we are, and that's what freedom is the freedom to choose, the freedom to express our beliefs, the freedom to be able to share our passions. And I feel that we all, because I've interviewed all kinds of people and I've had all kinds of people on my mission trips, everybody just wants to be heard, loved, and make a difference. So if we can just, get there or agree so we can impact more people, I think that will be great. But anyhow, I know you also do the Black Diamond Club. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and what are most of the challenges that people present with when they do decide to join your group, and what are the things that they can expect to resolve?
Well, first of all, I want to answer that, but I also want to mention, because you've brought this up a couple of times, one thing that's very unique about the specific chiropractic centers, and I think that in the profession, very few people actually know this. Of course, the communities that we serve are very tied into this, but 3% of every office visit that we do around the country, 3% of the revenue of every office visit goes to our international outreach program. And we go to El Salvador, Mexico, and the Philippines every year for 1 week to each of those places where we deliver the same care that we provide in the specific chiropractic centers to those populations free of charge. And last year, I believe the number was like $1.25 million in care that was rendered, not that was raised, but that was rendered in those countries as a result of our communities giving, so that our doctors can do that. And so, that's something that we also hold very near and dear to our hearts. And our communities, our patients who come in, they love to see how their money that they're spending to recover their health, but a part of that money is also being sent over to these countries to help those people that are not in a position, one, to choose, or two, to even be able to afford it. It's not like they could fly over to the United States and stay for long periods of time and get that type of care. And so that's one initiative that's very near and dear to us. Very few people know about the benevolent side of the specific chiropractic center. Now, Black Diamond Club, that is a group, like we said earlier, 500 service providers that have come together to collaborate and support each other in two things: reaching more people. What I find is that all service providers, and it's kind of along the lines of what you said, want to be loved, want to be heard. But really, service providers are unique in that they passionately believe in their service. Like they really believe that whatever it is they do. And I think, look, this goes beyond chiropractic. You have to realize that probably somewhere out there, there's some version of this, but with massage or with Reiki or with physical therapy or with cutting hair, right? Whatever service it is that they provide, they're super passionate about it. But then I find that oftentimes they lack the business skills to get that service out to the world. Everybody wants their service to be brought to the world, but if you don't have the business skills to bring it to the world, you'll never get there. Unfortunately, I feel like some of the most skilled clinicians live in obscurity. Like nobody knows. The most skilled healers live in obscurity because they don't have the business skills to share that with the world. And so we focus on 4 areas, and it's marketing, sales, mindset, and entrepreneurship. In fact, our book, the subtitle of our book, the book title is None of Your Business, and the subtitle is a guide to help service providers fall in love with the idea of being an entrepreneur. And so you have to realize that as passionate as you are about your service, you should be equally as passionate about your business, because the business is the vehicle that's going to take the service to the world. And so 2 things that we want to accomplish: help you reach more people so that you can live the lifestyle of your dreams. And this would be a great, topic of discussion for a naked talk. Is one of the other things is that we are not shy at all about the fact that we want to create a nice lifestyle for ourselves. There's a lot of circles in a lot of services where making money is looked down upon. Right? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my gosh, you're making a lot of money. Well, look, you cannot give what you don't have. So the first prerequisite to being able to give, I grew up in DE. I graduated in 1995. So from 92 to 95, I was at Logan. I was driving up to Michigan to see all the Michigan guys. At that time, my girlfriend, I sent her, she lived in Indiana, and I made her go and be a patient of Jimmy Gregg, right? It was one of those things where I just, I was so engrossed in that. But that idea, right, of give, love, and serve. But here's the thing. You can't give what you don't have. The prerequisite of giving was you had to be ultra successful. And I don't know if you remember back in the 90s DE, those guys that sat in the first 2 or 3 rows, they were all ultra successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember sitting back there, I remember Jimmy Gregg giving a talk and he picked his hand up like this. And he was right next to me and I could hardly see. This was in 92. Little Jimmy Gregg had more bling than like a 2000 rapper. Like he was iced out. And I was like, wow, he must be really successful. And at that time, it was cool to be successful. And somewhere it kind of changed. It became where if you're successful, you must be bilking the system, you must be cheating. And so we really work to support each other and letting each other know that it's okay. And it's that's a perfectly acceptable goal to have. If you want to position yourself so that you can pay for your children's college education, Lacey and I paid for our kids to go to college. Well, that wasn't free. And we're very proud of that. It doesn't mean that you have to have, fancy jewelry or clothes, but it might be just things. Maybe you wanted to be able to support your parents. I know in the Latin culture, that's very important, but you can't do that if you're not successful. Yeah. And so one of the unique things about Black Diamond Club is we really embrace the idea of helping our clients, our members, to be okay with being successful.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Obviously, in my naked talks, I always say you can't give what you don't own. We were talking about self-love. So many people, I deal with a lot of relationships and I coach couples and I coach individuals and but I want to be loved. And this, if you don't love yourself, you can't expect it from others. If you don't have health, you cannot expect it from others. You cannot give what you don't own. A naked man cannot lend a shirt. I always say that a naked man cannot lend a shirt. He doesn't have one in the first place. So it is so important that we, if we want to make a bigger impact, we do need to bank more money. Let's say it that way, period. It's just you hire the money, hire the service. Right. That's as much impact as you're making in the world. So it's not a dirty word. I love it. And and here in Miami, it's normal to talk about it and to embrace it, especially, and as Latinos, we have to take care of our parents and take care of our children. So it is inborn in and we thrive by doing that and we get pleasure out of doing that. It's not like we just throw them up to the side. We love to say that we are taking care of our loved ones and that we can. So what will be your biggest money tip? Hey, money naked tip that you can give just the layperson that can be hearing us or the entrepreneur. I say that word wrong. I always get corrected. But or the chiropractic student, or the housewife, or anybody. What would be your money tip?
Well, Lacey and I do a workshop that's called Money Matters. And it's about our relationship with money. So first of all, I would say you have to understand that you are in a relationship with money. And, and just like you were talking about earlier, if you're going to do relationship counseling, there's several key things to a good relationship, trust, and also communication. One of the things that I find is that most people, especially if you're having money difficulty, they turn their backs on the money, right? You don't want to look at your bank account because you just know that it's low. You don't want to keep your checkbook reconciled. You don't want to, keep your office books up to date because it's bad. Now, when it's good, it's not as hard, right? But I think that one of the keys to a great relationship with money is constant communication. Like I said, I'm going to go to Sherman Thursday and I'll be back home late Saturday night. Would it strike you as odd if I said during that interval when I leave until I come home that I'm not planning on talking to Lacey, my wife, at all? Would that be weird?
Yes.
That would be bizarre, right?
Yes.
And that's because Lacey is my significant other, my wife. But how strange is it that I would go 24 hours without checking in with my money? You know, you want to treat your money like you would treat your spouse. Women are super guilty of this, right? A lot of women have in their purse just money thrown all over. It's all just, you just jammed it in there. There's coins rolling around the bottom. Imagine. So I want you just to think about that as a metaphor, that's how I treated Lacey. I just threw her down there, she showed up, and if she comes on the live, if she can get in, and when she showed up, she just looked a mess, and you were like, wow, like, look at that, doesn't even look right. Like, your money needs to be treated properly. Invest in a nice wallet, keep your money ordered, check in with it every day. And the tip is to get a little book. Good friend of mine, Eric McIntyre, turned me on to this book. This book literally changed the way that Lacey and I and our relationship, how we were able to introduce money into our relationship. Because look, too, when we can talk about this in the next section, money is also a big relationship destroyer. And so you need to be on the same page, right, in your relationship. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that bound us, Lacey and I, is a book called The Little Money Bible by Stuart Wilde. And it truly is a little money Bible. You can read this book in probably 20 minutes, but the concepts in there are mind-boggling. We were in New Orleans with Tristan, and he got to see, one of the principles in there is, and this is a really interesting thing, but money is all around us all the time. And you begin to notice it. And when you're kind of in alignment, money just shows up, and it shows up in the form of like coins on the ground. But here's the thing. When you're walking and you see like a penny on the ground, I always pick it up. Because I think that the universe, according to the Little Money Bible, sent me a penny. It was free money. And if I walk past it, I'm sending a message to the universe
you don't want it,
that I'm good. And so it actually scares me. And when we were in New Orleans, for whatever reason, there was a lot of coins, and Tristan was there, and he was like, oh my gosh, I've heard you talk about this, but you both, Lacey and I both, we were picking up all kinds of money. He says, you both do it. You actually do that. And we really do firmly believe in this abundance. And I got to tell you, since we got that right in our relationship, not only has our business been blessed, but our relationship has been super blessed as well.
Oh, wow. I just love this. Obviously, you touch a point. Values is so important in our relationship, and you both need to be parallel in those values in order to keep growing in the ladder and come closer together. Because it's when the values, one has this values, the other one has this one, that's when we split apart, no matter what the situation is. So it's just, we have to get clear. And I love that you guys made this part of your relationship, because it is such an important part. Either you stay in the relationship because you cannot afford to leave, or or you stay in the relationship, but you are bickering all the time. So what kind of quality of life, what kind of impact are you going to live in the world? What kind of life are you really going to have? What kind of example are you going to give to your kids, your family, others, friends, whomever? So I love this. And I'm definitely going to post about that little book. I don't think I ever heard of it. I think I need to marry my relationship with money. I said I would never marry it again, but I might think about that. Hey, it sounds very sexy. You sold me. And the relationship with money is definitely a thing that I want to work on. But yes, looking at your numbers. And I remember being with Tristan and saying something about about the coins on the floor. So it comes from you. I love it. I'm going to start picking up. You're going to see me bending down a lot in Miami. I love that. Okay, so in your journey, and you have had a lot of wonderful things, as I'm sure you have had some downhills, because success doesn't happen this way, right? What would you say are your biggest challenges, what was your biggest challenge or lesson that you learned or regret? However you want to put it, you can share whichever.
Yeah, here's Lacey. Biggest challenge is
hello.
Hi, gorgeous. So fun to have you.
I'm so excited to be on. So where are you guys at? What are we talking about?
We were talking about relationship with money, but I just asked him.
What book should they read?
Oh, did you already talk about it?
Yeah, we want to see. This is like newlywed game. We want to see if you did it right.
Little Money Bible by Stuart Wilde.
Woo! Ching ching! You got it right.
So we're talking now about biggest challenges in business, because it's not always just up, up, up. What would be the biggest challenge that you?
Gosh, I mean, I think that the biggest thing that people deal with is just mindset and outside influence. And of course, those two things go hand in hand. I can't tell you how many times when one single thing goes wrong in business or doesn't go the way that people expect or anticipate, it's like this spiral of out of control of, you start telling yourself all these negative thoughts. Yeah. And it's like, no. And then you take that mindset and you slap on some outside influence and opinions and things go wrong. I think that is a big part of the ebbs and flows that we experience as entrepreneurs. It's us getting in the way of that momentum because of the way that we're thinking. And then as soon as you can begin to break that, then you start to go back up again, right?
That little liar, I call it the liar in your head, that if you feed it even a little crumb, oh my God, it gets full and it just brings you down and keeps you on the floor.
I know, it's addicted, right? It gets that little crumb and it's like, give me more.
You're drinking a whole bottle of wine with the crumb and it's not going to be a good meal.
Or 2 bottles of wine and then we're in trouble.
Oh my God.
Biggest challenge, I would say, I'm going to go completely the other way, is working with people. And I always say, if we didn't have to work with people, this would be easy. With the people that we consult with, I think that's one of the biggest issues, is that, and it kind of goes back to when we were talking about unity, is that oftentimes people feel like everybody is the same as them, that they think the same as them, that they work the same as them. And then they get upset, right? We see this all the time with associates, with hiring staff, and you have to really invest some time if you want to grow your business, if you want to have a big empire, in understanding human psychology, what makes people tick. Books like Drive by Daniel Pink. One of the books that we love is Predictable Success by Les McKeown. Understanding how people are motivated and what role they play. I think that a lot of our success comes from having been able to form a really, really, really good team. But I also think that we are accelerating our success now because we have learned more how to be around good people. But also the next level of that is we don't hire everybody that we work with. A lot of it's collaboration. So a lot of people are sort of, quote, on our team. They have their own thing and they're really good at it. And we have just found ways to collaborate with them.
Oh, I love that. I think collaboration is where we're going. If we do not lift each other up, we're not going to get our voices loud enough to be heard. Yeah. So lifting each other up, I do that so much, obviously, with women and moms and housewives. And in our profession, we are here to lift each other up. I don't care how you practice, as long as you're making a difference. I really don't care. I don't care what you do, as long as you're happy and living your purpose. And if we can lift each other up and collaborate so we can get the message, there's room for everybody. There's room for every seminar. There is room for every coach. There is room. And to be really naked and raw, guys, let's stop being children. So I think we just need to grow up. But I loved it so much what you said, because I've had naked, here, real. I've had a lot of issues with staff. So I must either suck at it or I need to improve for sure. So you were saying about your team. You said it in such a beautiful way, the two of you, that I said, oh, can I be part of it? I almost want to oh my God, could you hire me? I wanted to raise my hand and just join the cool kids in the crowd. But anyhow, on that note, is there any story, anything you want to share with our audience, any major regret, if any, that you have had, any business powwow, anything that you can share with us? Because what I do know is that even though we're all different, we are alike in the sense that what you say or what you went through, or probably something you don't want to share, is mostly has happened to a lot of us. And we just don't want to say it either because of the ego thing. And then we're missing the lesson and we're missing the getting up together and rising up. Yeah,
I would say for me, a lot of it in the early years was, and this actually goes more to what Lacey was saying, but at the same time has a bit of the relationship side. But it was when you're young in practice, you get into relationship, and I would even say personally and also professionally, for wrong reasons. And I think that early on, we were in both areas, right? Like we both navigated difficulty in relationships, and from a business perspective, having the fear of going it on your own, that's one of the things too. I oftentimes hear people want to become an associate so that they can learn the business, and I often wonder how much of the business can you actually learn being an associate. Now, I wasn't ever an associate, but if I worked at Best Buy, I don't know that they would be teaching me HR and insurance and budgeting. I would just be selling whatever it is my department. So I think that there's something to taking risks when you're young. But what I did, rather than be an associate, is I took on a partner, and the partnership wasn't equitable. And partnerships are like marriage, just as that, a common theme. And I think the theme is relationship. And you don't view it like that. And it's a business partnership, but in reality, it's like a marriage. And likewise, I think in a partnership, we always tell our clients now, based off of experience, when you are forming a partnership and everything is great, that's when we need to talk about what the dissolution will look like. That's when we need to outline the terms of what it will look like, who gets what, how we are going to break up in the eventuality that we break up, because we might not, but if we ever do. And right now we're not mad at each other. So we can talk about it very calmly, civilly, and just talk about what it will look like to break up. And we can outline it, sign it, and agree upon it. Well, obviously I didn't do that. And so, we went through, Lacey and I, what year? I said earlier, I don't know what year did we start the specific?
Specific started in 2006. And
then what year was the dissolution?
Dissolution was 2011.
Okay, so I don't know years at all.
He never knows.
But
did he tell you that's why we got married on my birthday? Smart person.
So he wouldn't miss it?
He will never forget. And if he does, he's in like double trouble.
Oh my God, double. Oh my
God. Her birthday's on New Year's Eve.
So it's like, yeah.
It's a whoppy. Let me tell you, you better come big.
Really big. You want to say that again? I don't know if he heard you.
Hey, at least for me, birthdays are a thing. And it's birthdays, anniversary, and New Year's Eve. Oh my God. I can help you start planning now.
Perfect. I love it. But yes, partnership dissolutions, like being smart about that relationship.
Yeah, I would think that would be one of the biggest regrets and it's like a divorce. And I think a lot of people would say a divorce is a big regret, right? Especially if there's children involved. And so I think that the same thing in business. When you enter into a relationship and it doesn't end up how you thought it was going to be, and you poorly planned, so you had difficulty in the breakup phase of that, it really affects your whole life. One of the things one of my mentors, Michael Port, he's the author of the book Book Yourself Solid. It's a phenomenal book. I coached with him for many years early in my career, and he always says that most business problems are personal problems in disguise. And so that's the answer to it. Is early on, you don't know much about relationships. So you have bad personal relationships, you have bad business relationships. That would be one of my biggest lessons that I think I've learned.
I think it's obviously, I love that because that is my cup of tea right there. My cup of tea. I've been divorced twice. It's not a surprise for anybody that knows about my Get Naked series. And for now, since then, every relationship I start with the end in mind. It's amazing. It's like I know where the exits are. I know exactly how many steps I need to take. I know if I need to wear heels or not. I know the pressure on the door before I open it. I know details, like to the T. And it sounds kind of neurotic, but obviously I've learned the hard way. And I feel that it's such a great tip with businesses because you're doing it when you're in the loving period, in the friendly period, in the amazing period, and you both can come to agree. Thank God for my second husband, I had a prenup, but yes, I still learned many more tips, and now I am into details. And going back to, the mindset, the details, knowing your path, knowing what you want. I just love talking to you guys. I want to do this naked talk always with you guys. You guys are so dynamic and so awesome. And Tristan is right. You're just a super couple, super power couple. I someday I will. Anyways, but on that, relationship does matter, just like money matters, and your relationship to money, to businesses, to yourself, to health. All those things are things to work on. I feel that is our true treasures because it's what we're going to take with us, is what we're going to really offer the world. In that note, can you guys share your best relationship tips on how to stay working together happily for the most part and growing in the same direction?
I think that the biggest relationship tip that we could share is this, and this sounds a little bit against what most people will tell you, is when you're creating a vision together, whether that's for your home, whether that's for the business, the first step in doing that is creating an individual vision for yourself. And I think that just like you said, so many people go into a relationship and what they do is they're always trying to figure out, how do we compromise to create this one vision without knowing independently what they truly want themselves? And we learned that the hard way, because as soon as you start to do that, you know that there's always one individual that compromises more than the other. And when that happens over the course of time, then you can end up having some resentment because you never really did what was right and for you and in your heart. So I would say, listen, before you go into what do we want, say, what do I want? Go there first and then bring the two together and allow each other to see what it is that you want. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake that we see. It's always one person giving up way too much. And that becomes, I don't think, a very supportive and loving and thriving relationship. If you can figure out how to make both visions work, then you are going to get where you want to go very, very fast.
I mean, the rule basically there is never compromise, which is weird,
It's
right?
weird, yeah.
Because in a relationship world, probably that's one of the characteristics that you should have. But we actually teach never compromise. The idea is if we are truly a couple, how can we accomplish both of our visions, both of our desires? And we see so many relationships where somebody just ultimately compromised.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted to live in Miami, I wanted to live in Texas. So we decided to live in Texas because you compromised. The thing is we need to figure out a way that, we can meet where we both want to live. Maybe there's other options where we both agree to live, or we have to live in both places, or like we have to figure out a way that everybody gets what they want. That way, nobody goes to sleep resentful. Nobody goes to sleep with these hidden subconscious anger. I can't believe, we didn't, get to do this.
Yep.
The goal is that Lacey gets everything that she wants out of life, and I get everything I want out of life. Right. The one other thing that I would say, and I would just drop this as a thought for people to really chew on. Most of the businesses that we work with, and especially if they're longer standing businesses, most businesses have a vision statement or a mission statement. And this was really big for me. Somebody once said this to me, and they said, Shawn, with how much passion you have for your businesses, do you have mission statement? Yes. And she said to me, well, do you have a mission statement for your relationship? And if you do not, then that means, or that is why your relationship is not as strong as your business, right?
Right.
And so you must treat it the same way. You have to invest time, energy, effort into your relationship, but maybe not in the ways that we were kind of taught from like our parents, but in the ways that allow us to support each other and bring each other up. But that the mission keeps us in alignment. So that's how we know. And like that's where you were talking. That's how we don't go like that, because there is a unified mission. And then we can wake up every day and know from our relationship standpoint what we're working towards.
I love that. Oh, you guys are hired. Okay. So that is awesome. And obviously I work when I do and I'm having now a 1 day Get Naked experience here in Miami, March 16th. So the link will be posted eventually. And sign up if you don't know your purpose, because you have to start with you. Just like you said, Lacey, that is so key. If you don't know what you want, what are you looking for in somebody else?
Right.
Again, going back to you you can lend what you don't own. You cannot give what you don't own. So you have to love that. And the relationship of, vision, after you have a vision for your life, after you have that relationship, the first relationship for me is my relationship with God, then my relationship with myself, then comes the rest. But if those two are not good, I got nothing to offer. I got nothing to ask for. I got nothing to complain about. I got nothing to expect, which is another. And then resentment is that little ball that keeps growing and bush. It bursts in your face when you least expect it, and there goes all the headaches. But yes, those were amazing, amazing tips. I just love talking to you guys. You are just terrific. And hey, I think I'm getting to know you here. So thank you. Thank you for giving me that window into your relationship, into your business mind, into your vision of the world and how you want to impact it, because that's what this Get Naked show is all about. It's about really bearing our soul and just putting it out there, being who we are. Who cares what other people think? Who cares about, just express your true joy and passion and mission, and it will flourish no matter what. But those relationships need to be healed. And I'm going to work on my relationship with money. I'm going to make love to that tonight. In all naked. Oh my God. When my mom hears this, you can't believe the things that she says. She has a long list of things that she's not proud of. And that goes right up there. So before we go, can we tell our audience where they can find you, how they can bother you with questions, how they can join your group? Go for it.
What we have, I'm going to give you the websites we're super proud of, because some of them are in renewal stages, but www.blackdiamondclub.com. That's the information on Black Diamond Club. And really, we just got done with www.laceybook.com. That's the super cool website too to check out.
You see how excited I get with that?
Yeah, I know. And you can bug us anytime. You can find us on Facebook. We're always available. Send us a message. We love hearing from you guys.
Okay, so we're definitely booking another one of these chats. Probably I'll have Lacey all by myself.
Oh, I love it.
Because we need to, and I love the dog. Oh, I closed the door so my dog wouldn't bother me. But what is the name of that cutie?
That's Dexter. And yes, he's named after the TV show.
I was just going to say that. Dexter. Yeah. Okay.
He's a killer, swear.
Oh, la, 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 la. Okay. So we'll definitely have to do this again. Thank you again for giving up your time, of your passion to all of us. I know, Lacey, you do a lot of these lives and you're always giving amazing tips. So thank you. Because we all learn, we all grow. And yes, in whatever direction we go, we're making a bigger impact. And that's what I feel. It matters, not the little things that we are arguing about.
Well, thank you for all you do, and thanks for having us on. We enjoyed it.
Thank you. And for another, please like, comment, share with your friends so they can also learn all the wonderful tips were shared today. And they tag the people we mentioned, definitely Sherman, we're going to be there on tag. Let us know what you think. Let me know who you want to hear from. What did you learn about this Get Naked show episode? And I hope to see you soon. All the links will be posted. So please, you do the same. Post your websites right on the comments below so people can reach you and they can keep benefiting from you. I will post the books that you recommended, which I'm going to get started on that pronto. And you guys have an awesome, blessed, grateful Wednesday.
You too. Ciao. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye. Let me see.